Hello, everyone. Hello. Hold on. Let me do this. Hello. Hello, Crimes. Hello, Deb. Hello, Melinda. Hello from Massachusetts. Been in the hospital for 5 days. Oh, my goodness. Hope you're okay, friend. Hope you're okay. Hello, friend. Hello, Armand. How are you? Hello, How are you? Oh, boy, guys. It has been another day. So, not that I expected to hear anything today, being Saturday, but still no rights been taken away. I can't even explain how angry I am right now. I'm still. So, I brought this up. Let me just share it with you. We're not going to talk about this the whole time because I do want to highlight a couple channels that need to be highlighted. This doesn't show very nicely. Hello, Marie. How are you, friend? This is just a brief synopsis of the Victims' Bill of Rights here in Ontario. And I'm telling you, the right to information, we'll just start on the first one. Information about the criminal justice system and your case. 2 thumbs down. Programs and services available to victims. If I had more thumbs, I'd give it more thumbs. That's an absolute -10. Update on the person who harmed you and the conditions on their release. Is that so? Is that so? Canada, is that so? Because I'm there right now and I'm not told anything about when he's going to be released. January 24th, but probably the 22nd, anywhere from the 22nd to the 24th. And I was told that I would have a meeting with the parole board and that I would have a meeting with his parole officer to discuss safety measures and my safety concerns. Not happening. Rights to protection. Criminal justice authorities to consider your security and privacy. They don't consider my security, my privacy. No, they're considering his security, his privacy. Not mine, his. Protection for intimidation and retaliation. What protections am I getting when the man says on a 911 call, when I get out of jail, I'm going to slice your throat? What protections do I get for that? None. A publication ban. Oh, yeah, there's a publication ban against me. A publication ban against me for saying his name. Special support in court, testimonial aids. I was offered that. I will give them that. I was offered a screen to stand behind. No. I get that some people might want that, and I'm glad it's there. But that son of a bitch needed to see my face. He needed to hear me speak to him. The rights to restitution. Ask the court to make a restitution order against the offender. Well, he stole $13,000 out of my bank account within 3 days before he committed the act. And nope, no restitution there. have the restitution order entered as a civil court judgment that can be then enforced against the offender. Nope, no restitution there. So that is not true. The right to participation. Present an impact statement and have it considered by the court. Okay. In the court system, yes. But they forget to tell you there that the criminal, his lawyer, the judge, the Crown Attorney all get to say what you can and cannot say. So is it really a victim impact statement, or is it the judicial system impact statement? It's not really the victim statement. Oh, so share your views on decisions that affect your rights. Oh, I'm going to. Right there says I can share my views on decisions that affect your rights. And I'm doing that Monday. Financial compensation that might assist them. Nope. The progress of police investigation that relate to the crime. I will say my local police were very good on that one. The charges laid with respect to the crime, and if no charges are laid, the reason why. I'll have to give them that one. Procedures of the court and victims' role in the prosecution. Nope. It's I'm not going to go over and over this, but just the brief amount what they've got right here, instead of going right into all the laws and the codes and all that. Every single one of these have been taken away from me. Every single one. How is this even possible to be happening? Yeah, and you're right, Jamie. He needs a second chance on a positive tone. There's no such thing as victims' rights. It's criminal rights, and that's what it should state there. Criminals' rights. There's no such thing as victims' rights. So here's the best part. Here is the best. Where did I find that? On the top of this page, it says victim services. And a big button here that says donate. Where is that money going to? Where is it going to go to? Because it doesn't go to victims. Maybe it goes to a big, huge supply of coloring book and crayons, because that's going to shut your brain off. But hey, let's donate to them. Then there was one thing down here. Oh, yes. The Victims' Justice Fund. The Ontario Victim Bill of Rights, 1995, established the Victim Justice Fund, which is a dedicated fund that is used to support programs and services for victims of crime in Ontario. The money in the Victim Justice Fund is calculated from court-imposed fines under the Provincial Offences Act, mostly Highway Traffic Act violations excluding parking tickets, and the Criminal Code. So when you get a parking ticket here in Ontario, or a speeding ticket or anything like that, there is the victim surplus charge. So people that are speeding are being charged money for this victim justice fund that doesn't go to victims. It goes to these bogus organizations that state they're there for victims. It goes in somebody's wallet. It doesn't go to victims. And again, unless it's buying a tractor trailer full of crayons and coloring books, it does not go to victims. And I'm sorry, I know most of you are American, and I'm sorry I'm going off on this, but I need to keep light on this because Monday, I'm going to be standing out in front of, I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to be standing out. Where did it just go? In front of this building. I'm just unhinged over this. I'm going to be standing out here in front of this building, wanting my rights back. Am I going to get them back? Probably not. Probably not. Right in front of there. But maybe I can help some other woman or man have the right to have their voice heard. This man put duct tape over my mouth, took my voice away, and the whole time, 4 years, judicial system took my voice away. Victim services took my voice away. Now the Parole Board of Canada is taking my voice away. Because he deserves a positive note. I don't even know what to think of a bunch of people sitting around a table I don't know. I just don't know. Marie says, has anyone seen the Spencer Pearson case? He got life in prison for stabbing and mutilating his 17-year-old ex-girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Deb says, I'm a mouth breather. I can't breathe through my nose. Good. I would have panicked. I breathe perfectly fine both ways. I don't know, but I'm telling you, even though I could breathe through my nose, I was panicking. Do you have a mayor you can write to? I spoke to the detective that was on the case, and she said there's just nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. And so I told her what I was going to do. She advised me on my rights, and I did that. Mayors aren't going to try to step on toes of a Canada run organization. I'm just so I can't get out of my head what that woman said to me. That he has the right to a second chance on a positive tone. A positive tone. When is my government going to give me a second chance? They're not, because I'm a victim. I'm not a criminal. A criminal has all the say here. All of it. Now, I can only speak for Ontario. It's governed by Canada. The parole boards are Canadian parole boards. Prisons are federal. But jails are provincial. But I can only speak for the victims' rights in Ontario because I don't know if this is in other provinces. And I pray to God it's not. I pray to God it's not. Hello, Claudia, my friend. How are you? So Rochelle will be out in front of this building. And I will be going live. And hopefully you will all join me. Hopefully you will all support me in this. And hopefully you'll share it so it gets out to as many people as possible. And this is in Kingston, Ontario, by the way. So it's about 45 minutes from my place. And it's going to be cold. Like, why couldn't they pull this crap in the summertime? No, they got to pull it in the winter. But so the one channel I want to highlight is True North Transparency. And he actually did an audit in Kingston, Ontario of the City Hall. I have not saw it yet. And I wanted to watch it with you guys because I wanted to see how the law enforcement and the officials work in Kingston. So that way I know what I need to be prepared for come Monday. I'm going to share screen. And I do have True North Transparency linked at the bottom of the description of the live. If I would be grateful if you would show your support. He obviously lives in Ontario, and two of his colleagues, Canada Cop Watch and Ontario Audit, I also got them linked. So hopefully we can show them our support. I know most of you are American. I understand and I get it. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so... Oh, thank you so much, Leah. Rochelle, I support you 100% and will be with you through the live. Thank you so much. I'll be there. I'm just going to double check because I can't remember what time they open at. I believe it's 9 o'clock. It's government agency, so... Let me just see. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. So I want to be there as they're driving into work. Let them see that their Monday's not going to be that great. Claudia says, hi, great day for us. November 5th. Thank you for your service. I thank everybody, even police. I thank police too for their service. I think everybody deserves it. There's assholes out there. Yes, there is. But there's good people. And Will actually haven't got in touch with him yet. Was a prison guard at Rikers Island, and he's going to come on and talk. So that's awesome. But I haven't reached out yet to set that up. But that will be really good to get a prison guard's perspective from the inside. And what a better place than Rikers Island. Sorry, I'd stay right away from there. That would scare me straight if I was a criminal. All right, so we're going to get into this and see what the officials in Kingston, Ontario are like, to know what I'm up against. So again, this is True North Transparency. His link to his channel is in the bottom of the description.
So guys, today is Friday, June 7th. It's 11:38 in the morning. It's 17 degrees Celsius, cloudy, cool, a little breezy. 17 Celsius would be 34, so 66 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans. We're going to find the entrance. I think this is the entrance right here, but I'm going to walk around the building and check it out, and then I'm going inside. I'm here today in Kingston with Mad Labs Press. We're going to keep him off the camera because his face ain't covered up.
And Mad Labs Press is also a friend of True North Transparency, and he's an ex-Toronto cop. So his stuff is actually quite interesting because he was one of them. These people aren't nasty. It is a beautiful city hall. I've seen it so many times. I have a question for everybody that's in here. If you saw somebody walking around with a camera, would you get mad? If somebody was walking through a park or whatever, would you get mad if you saw somebody walking with a camera?
All right. Guys, I think this is the front door. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Man, it's like a castle in here.
Something like that.
Is upstairs all publicly accessible?
You can go up to the second floor.
Right on.
And so Memorial Hall's at that end, the council chambers together, and pretty nice to see you.
Council chambers are open for me to take a peek at?
Yeah.
That's beauty. Where is it?
Right up those stairs, down the end of the hall.
Thank you very much.
It's an extremely beautiful building. I just watched Rochelle 1122 video. Computer broke 6 days ago. Got it back today. Oh, I think that was what was that? So yesterday's video. So yesterday was when everything hit the fan for me. And Crime says no, she wouldn't. Armand says not me. Camera, no, but the face covered, that would make me nervous. So, and here's the thing though, right? When it was, I don't know in the States because I don't know, when it was mandatory here for people to wear masks, you're covering this amount of your face. And nobody freaked out. Not one person freaked out. A lot of people wore balaclava, like the ones that come up like True North does. And nobody freaked out about it. We were all walking around with half of our faces covered. There's still people, Deb, I stayed home. There's still people today that here when they're out in public, when there's an outbreak, that will put a mask on. When the flu starts going around and people start getting the flu a lot and this and that, if I have to go out, I'll wear a mask. I don't like being sick. And let's face it, for how many years did we have to wear a mask? 2? Our immune systems are screwed. So.
Council chambers are up here. Up these stairs and down
This
the hall.
building is haunted. Haunted.
Council chambers.
Oh, it's this way.
This way? Okay.
Everybody's being so nice to them.
Look at this, guys. Like it's like a castle. It's unbelievable. Guys, I gotta zoom out for this.
Deb says when people are sick, wear masks, but not because someone decided to force people to. No, and that's right, but we were forced to. I don't know for you guys if you were forced to, but we were forced to. You could not go in anywhere without wearing a mask. You would not be allowed in, nothing. But when we were all walking around with masks on, nobody was scared that they could only see this amount of somebody's face. And I understand why True North does it, because they're promoting that there's nothing private in public. So if you want to be private in public, you have to make your own privacy. So I understand why they wear it.
He was like, go ahead. Look at that. So this is the mayor's office.
Oh, may I have a business card for the mayor? Thank you.
Whoops. Thank you very much.
See, he's not covered there.
Brian Patterson, mayor. Guys, there's lots to do here, so the city councilor office. Is there only one city councilor? It's a small office. Oh no, there's offices on either side. Oh my Lord. This is, guys. And this is council chambers. Holy, good Lord. I want to come to a city council meeting. Not a lot of seats for visitors, but it's
Because they don't want them there.
beautiful. Just gorgeous. I can't believe this building, guys. This is.
Listen to those old creaky floors.
So without the legs on my tripod, I can't set it up. Look, they have it very well marked where you can and cannot go, so just don't break the rules. And Kingston loves when people come in to view this. Guys, do a... Dude,
I'm pretty sure weddings go on in there too. People have their weddings in here. So far, so good, guys. Doesn't look like I'm going to have too much of a hassle.
Look at this stained glass, guys.
Armand says, I've seen old churches less splendid than this. Oh, and you know what, though? This building is so beautiful, but so much horrific stuff happened here. Public hangings. But it is beautiful. Hello, Rosemary. Welcome, my friend. Hello, Rochelle, and everyone in the chat. Did you know the parole board also denied the Mahafis in French is the right to face Paul Bernardo at his parole hearing because they said it was unsafe? Yep. Because they're not for the victims. How is it unsafe for? Who was it unsafe for? That's the question. Who was it unsafe for? Was it unsafe for Paul Bernardo? They're not there for the victims. They're there for the criminals. So Rochelle's going to stand out front and fight it. And like I said, I am reserved to the fact that it's not going to help me, but it just might help some other victim. That's all I can hope for. But then again, in his Care Bear prison that he's in, because all prisons in Ontario are Care Bear daycares. And I know Crimes Untangled's laughing right now. But they get to watch all the news. They get to watch all that. So you know what? Maybe my voice will be heard, and maybe he will see me having my voice.
My heart's beating. I love really nice buildings like this, man. I dig this. So you guys, the list of people who fought for their rights from Kingston.
Exactly, Armand. I watched Susan Smith's parole hearing, and many people appeared and spoke against parole. And here, that would not happen. First off, they wouldn't be able to speak from the heart and soul. No, they wouldn't. They would have to prepare their statement, send it to 3 copies. Well, 2 copies, actually. To the Crown Attorney's office and to the defense attorney. The defense attorney shows it to the criminal, which then has the right to say, nope, I don't agree with her or him saying this about me. This is against my rights. I don't agree to that being said. So guess what? You have to take it out or reword it. My victim impact statement was edited 3 times. By who? The criminal. 3 times he sent it back to me to have it rewritten. And Susan Smith's parole hearing, I was so happy to see that anybody that wanted to speak that was affected by the crime during the time or even before they were born was allowed to speak, and they were allowed to speak from their heart and their soul. They didn't have to read from a pre-edited version. It's a shame. I knew you were laughing.
May you all rest in peace and never forget, and we'll keep fighting for the freedoms that you afforded us and fought and died for. We're not going to stop, guys. All right, guys. These are the 2 major things I wanted to see. I think I'm good to go. We have others today. You good?
I'm good.
Like, look at all these picture frames.
Armand says, wait, your impact statement was edited by the criminal. Does it go straight to the parole board? Yep. So my first impact statement was for sentencing, which doesn't matter. I could my edited words, but it has no impact on the sentencing. The judge literally said she can read it, but it's not going to change anything. It doesn't impact nothing. So why they call it an impact statement means nothing. So why are they editing your words if it means nothing? This is the stuff that I don't understand. So yes, it was edited 3 times. 3 times I was told what I can say in that. And it was sent back to me. And I had to rewrite it. I sent it again. And it was sent back 3 times. 3 times. Because his feelings were hurt and his rights were not being followed. Yep. And then it goes in his file and it follows him. So that impact statement follows him from court to jail to prison, and whatever prison he ends up in, it follows. Then it's in his file for the parole board. So then I received information that his statutory release date was coming up, and I had till November 22nd to submit an impact statement if I wished to be considered. And so I called and I said, well, I'm putting in the statement, but I need to know when and where I need to go because I want to read my statement. And the lady so nicely let me know that I don't have that right because the criminal deserves a second chance on a positive note. We worked on that to make sure it was proper. And so it was absolutely dumbfounding. And I said, no, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to have the right to read my statement. I'm supposed to have a meeting with the parole board and a parole officer to discuss any concerns I have about his release and where he's being released to. I'm supposed to have that right. Nope, no rights. I don't even have the right to know when he gets out because it could be between January 22nd and January 24th. This is the same man that when I called 2 days prior to what he did because he was choking me and I was able to get to a phone and call the police, he's heard on that phone call saying, when I get out of jail, I'm going to slice your throat. This is the same man that they're taking my rights away so he has rights. Dumbfounds me completely. Yep, crimes, you're right. We worked on that to make sure it was proper. And I thank Jamie for that because I was writing it and it's very triggering to me because when you're writing these impact statements, you're putting yourself in a situation. Now, I'm also a bit stubborn because I need the parole board to know how my life is. But at the same time, I don't want him to think he won. So there's a lot of different. It was a work progress, that's for sure. For sure. Rosemary says Canada doesn't have the funding to support the justice system. This is why criminals are released early. That's why the government rehabilitates criminals instead of incarcerating them for any length of time. But that's the problem. Like in the States, prisons, there's federal prisons, there's privately owned prisons, and stuff like that. Here, our prisons are federal. They would rather pad their government pockets than protect citizens. And that's just the way it is. Go back to the old days. Piece of bread and freaking water. You know what else? Don't send prisoners in jail HST checks, government rebate checks. They're not paying for nothing. Why are you sending them this money? It's...
No, it's locked. It's got a key card on it.
Still here, guys. I just need a cigarette.
So this is where business happens. We have some computers here. Nobody wants to come in and pay parking tickets on a Friday. Hello.
Oh, everybody's being friendly to True North.
Look at the breathtaking. Nice. What a beautiful building. Yeah. Holy smokes. When was it built? Do you know? 1844. Did my buddy just ask you? No, he's looking for the plaque.
1841.
It is. It's a stunning building. So cultural services, the city clerk. Hello. I'm good. I'm just checking the building out. You have a great day. That's it, guys. Holy. Oh, wow. I'm not used to motion sensor lights. I forgot I'm wearing my GoPro. In the city of Kingston, guys.
Suicide. Beautiful. You're a good man.
Have a great day. Have a good day, sir.
Well, at least they didn't tell him he couldn't do that. That's nice. They were all very friendly, so thank goodness to that. Thank goodness to that. But I'm supposing I'm not going to have very friendly people at the parole board. It's, oh, I tell ya. But this is True North's page. And I'm going to go to just want to highlight these guys because they've been very, very decent people. And this one, I don't know if I showed you guys this one or not.
Go ahead.
This is Hamilton, Ontario. And boy, oh boy, these cops were just something else. But Canada doesn't use taxpayer money to punish criminals. They believe in using the money to fund welfare and immigration. Canada likes to keep the criminal justice system in the dark. Well, they do use taxpayer money. We pay for those. It's the federal facility. So taxpayer money does go to that. But the less, you are right, by keeping them in less than what they should be kept in for, is less money that they can pad their pockets with. But they do, taxpayer money gets used for all federal facilities. Provincial goes to our jails, which they call, detention centers. They don't call them jails, they call them detention centers, which are day camps. It's ridiculous. Like the one in Napanee, it's called Quinney Detention Center. And that is where he took a year, Care Bear camps. Yep, that's what they are, Jamie. Tennis, table tennis, arcade games. What else do they got there? I believe there's a gymnasium for basketball. It's stupid. It's stupid shit. Like, to me, if you've committed a crime, you shouldn't be in luxury. You shouldn't have any of this. What deters people from going to jail? 3 meals a day, no rent, no mortgage, no bills. What deters people from going? Nothing. There's not a damn thing that deters people from going to jail. And the government, if they're giving out money, you're going to get it anyway. It's sickening. It is absolutely sickening. Now, I'm not saying all prisons are good in Canada, because I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying all jails are good, because Toronto's known for some of the worst jails. I bet you they do. I bet you they do have emotional support dogs. All I know is when I go Monday, I have to keep my tongue in check, and I have to just basically draw attention, because the minute I start getting hurt or angry, then you all know the trucker and the sailor come out in me. Don't forget free education here in jail. Go in for 10 years, come out with a degree. Yep. Same here. Free education. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot. He'll also get a check when he gets out. He'll get government funding, probably from that victims fund that I showed you earlier. He'll get funding when he gets out. Now, granted, yes, I understand. They're trying to tell me, well, he's really not out of prison. He's got to live in a halfway house for a year. Then why let him out? Why take the chance of him coming after me when you're just transitioning him from a prison to a halfway house where he has more opportunity to cause me harm? But he'll get basically a startup fee, a startup check when he gets out of prison. How much do we really know about our justice system in Canada unless you're a victim like yourself, Rochelle? We don't really know what goes on in crime cases, only what is released in our Canadian media. Yep, and I'll tell you right now, it is all for the criminal. There's no justice for a victim. There's none. But there is a coloring book and crayons. There is that. So I guess I should be grateful. I should be blessed and lucky that after 12 hours tied to a wall and raped, that I got a coloring book and crayons. So I should be grateful. I shouldn't be sitting here bitching and moaning that that's how my government treats victims. And yes, I'm an SA victim. I can't even imagine, let's say, for example, Ruth Markel, if that would have happened here in Ontario, how her family would have been treated. Would they give Ruth Markel a coloring book and crayons and said, here, this will help shut your brain off? And I'm not exaggerating. That was what was said to me. Now, do they offer you counseling? No. Yes. 10 sessions. 10 half-an-hour sessions. And all the counselors do is this. They don't let you speak. They don't let you talk. I went through 4 counselors. And I only had 10 sessions. And I went through 4 counselors. To the point where I said, fuck off. Leave me alone. They didn't want to know how I was feeling. They didn't want to know anything. They just wanted to impose on me what was in their textbooks. That's the counseling that I was allotted. It was almost like I was a drain on the system. That's how I felt. I was a drain on the system. I was taking up some of their precious time. That's how they made me feel. I'm 4 years into this. And 4 years into this, they tell me I should be okay. I should be good now. Tell me that when I smell his cologne, when I walk by somebody. Tell me that when I hear a noise in my house and I start freaking out. Rochelle, you can get a restraining order put on your perpetrator if he gets out of prison. Now he does. He does have an order of no contact. And he will have that. It was for when he first went in, they put an order of no contact, direct or indirectly, on him. He called me from jail. Did he get reprimanded for that? No. No, not at all. So I had to, I believe it was last month or the month before, I had to go and petition the court to have that extended for another 5 years. So for every 5 years, I have to go. So every 4 years, you got to go at the 4th year to have it so it doesn't lapse. So every 4 years, I have to go to a court, repetition the court to have that extended. Why? Why do I have to keep doing this? Make it a lifetime. But they don't. And it was a month prior, he had a no contact order on against him for me. He walked back in this house, threatened me. The police drove by, seen him standing in my driveway, and did nothing. So these no contact orders are just like the waivers in the United States. They're useless. Unless the police are going to constantly uphold them, they are useless. I would say, well, I still haven't figured out how to handle the feeling of terror. Right, Claudia? Yep. But I am a drain on the society. No. I won't say a hard no, but as far as I know, because I've looked into it, I've been told no. But here's the best part. He can sue me. He can take me to civil court and sue me because, yes, we lived together. Yes, we bought furniture together. Yes, like things like that. When he gets out, he can take me to court and sue me for the cost of half of all that stuff. He has the right to do that. Isn't it sickening? It's just sickening. Let me tell you. I'm going to look for something here. See if I can email it to myself. Oh, hold on. I'm going to see if I can email this to myself. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to see if it's going to work. Let me see if I can share this with you guys. I'm going to check. This is something I have never shared. I'm going to share this man breaking the law and calling me from prison. And this is a prison call where he's not supposed to contact me at all. He was told no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. So I'm going to share this with you guys. And you guys can hear it. And we'll put it out there. Oh, I had to download it. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Oh, there it is. Rochelle, have you ever contacted members of Parliament about your case? Have you been able to phone, call, email, or send letters to let them know how you feel and what's going on? So here's the thing. They have waited till the very last minute to tell me my rights are gone. So to get through to any member of Parliament or any of that, it's not, I don't have enough time. So that's why I'm going to go and stand out in front of their building and hopefully draw enough attention that I can bypass all of the emailing and back and forth and, oh no, you got to talk to this person. No, you got to talk to this person, being shuffled around. So I'm hoping that's going to bypass all that. So maybe somebody in government is going to stand up and say, we need to help. We need to allow her to have her voice. But So I will, before I play this, he called me this day because I didn't know the number. And he obviously called me many times before because I remember looking back and saying, this is the same number. But I thought it was a telemarketer, so I wasn't answering. And I just happened to pick up. And as soon as I heard it, I hung up. Now, I was at a friend's house and they said if he calls back, answer it and we're going to record it. And this is what this is. So I'll play it for you guys. Hello, my friend X. How are you?
This is a legacy long-distance automated operator with a collect call from and using.
Oh.
Press 4 for charges related to this call. Thank you for using legacy long-distance.
What's that? What's that?
What? No.
Really?
Yeah, really, thank you. Really?
Well, I'll do her.
No. Yeah, what do you want? No. So I could get away from you. I'm not you. Why did you do what you did to me? So you raped me? No. I don't want you anywhere near me. I have to go. Are you fucking crazy? What? Drop what? No. No. You will never hurt another woman the way you hurt me. I have to go.
Guys, I'm sorry. I guess his voice is quiet because obviously he's trying to talk and not let them know he's talking to me. Oh, this was very hard to hear. Rosemary says, your perpetrator is hard to hear. Rochelle, I can hear you loud and clear. Sorry for your fear and pain. Never said sorry, Claudia. Never said sorry. Always just asked for me to drop the charges and he can fix my heart. and to do him a favor. It's in the, he started off the conversation by, were you able to pay the rent? He knew I wasn't able at that moment. Well, he didn't know. He assumed I wasn't going to be able to because he stole $13,000 out of the bank account. Within 3 days, he took out $13,000. So he knew I wouldn't be able, in his mind, I wouldn't be able to. When you said, are you crazy? What did he say? He asked me if I was dating someone. If I was having an affair. And that's why I said, are you crazy? Because, well, he had many affairs. He even had an affair with my own sister. So that's when I say in there, is that why you did what you did to me? And he didn't deny it. And that was a huge piece of evidence because he had full opportunity on that phone call to say, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. No, he just doubled down and said, I thought you were having an affair. So because somebody thinks you're having an affair gives you the right to tie them to a wall and sexually assault them for 12 hours? Mutilate them with a knife? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. 5 years, Rosemary, 5 years. Have no idea, Deb. No idea where the money is. The detective on the case actually made a good observation that she thinks that he probably took all the money out. Maybe he paid off any drug deals or whatever he had. So that wouldn't be on him if by any chance he ended up in jail. A mental eval. The only thing they told me is that he's been diagnosed with sociopath and narcissism. So he took a drill, screwed. I have 3 exit doors in my house. One sec, guys. I needed to have a little bit of a cigarette after that. I haven't heard that in a long time. So I have 3 exit doors in my house. He took a drill and screwed the door shut from the inside. So at one point he said to me, "You've been a good girl. I'm going to let you have a cigarette." So he untied me. And I just sat there and I prayed to God that cigarette would burn forever. Would burn forever. Now, he was doing some kind of drug. I have no idea. They have not told me or anything like that. And whatever he did in that moment, I don't know if he slightly overdosed or what it was, but he went out like that. Went out just. And I waited a few minutes to verify that he was not. I didn't give a shit if he was dead. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted out. I needed to get away. So I went to my front door. I didn't know they were screwed shut at this point. And the front door had 2 screws in it. So nobody could come in, nobody could go out. Couldn't get the screws out. Went to my side door. Again, had 2 screws in it. Couldn't get them out. That meant I had to come past the bedroom again, which I was petrified to do, and come to my door that's right here beside me. And there was 1 screw in it. And I took with all my will, trying to unscrew this from the door so I could get out. These 2 fingers were mutilated and bloody from trying to get this screw out of the door. And I gave up because it wasn't coming out. And then all of a sudden, I was trying to just stand there, and I just begged for God to help me get out of this house. And I tried one more time, nothing. And I literally gave up. I came to a realization that I was not going to live. And that screw fell out of the door. So I don't know if I got it to a point, but my fingers were so raw, bloody, and everything that I couldn't tell I got it to the point. And it fell out. And I ran out of this house. I ran. I got into my vehicle, and I got right to the police station. And that's how I got away. Because he allowed me to have a cigarette. He allowed me to have a cigarette. Rosemary says, did your perpetrator have a history of violence and abuse? Not to my knowledge. And even on I didn't even know he had a criminal record. But there was not any on a criminal record. Now, that being said, after this happened, his exes started coming out of the woodwork, and they started telling me that he did, but not to this extent. But police didn't believe them, because they were not good people either. So it was, like I say, they didn't look good on paper. So the police didn't believe them. Claudia says, what did he say when asked, why did you do this to me? He said, because I thought you were cheating on me. That was his words. Never cheated on anybody in my life. Did he cheat on me? Absolutely. My sister, a business acquaintance, an 18-year-old girl. That's 3 I know of. And that's why I say, I'm not you. I'm not you. I know X, it is very intense. It is. But this is the person that this government is giving all the rights to. They're giving him the rights. Rosemary says, sounds horrifying. You're very lucky you got away. You're very brave to have saved yourself. What do you think made him snap? Because I was leaving him. I told him, because we had a business together, very similar to what I do now. I shut that down because the government, again, told me if I was to run that business, I had to put 50% of my earnings away. Even though he was in jail, I had to give him 50% of those earnings. So I collapsed the business and went out on my own. But I told him I was leaving. I was done with the mind games. I was done with all of it. the cheating, the lying, the drugs. I was done. And he knew I was serious because the one thing he said to me before he tied me to a wall was, I'll give you one more opportunity to change your mind about leaving. And I said, no. Those were the last words that came out of my mouth before he took away my voice. No. And this is the man that the government is protecting and giving the rights to. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And I am so glad I was able to save myself, because I'm telling you, when I was standing by this door right here, I literally was at the point was, this is it. This is it for me. I was able to get out of his grasp and untied off that wall. But I wasn't, in my mind, I came to the point where now he's going to know I tried to escape. And it's going to be the end. But this is the man that has all the rights in the world. And Armand says, I missed yours here, Armand. Sorry. Perhaps the news station know that you're going to picket on victims' rights. Yeah, so I sent out basically a cover page, a bulletin, whatever you want to call it, out to quite a few of news in the area to let them know I'm going to be there. And hopefully they'll show up. Rosemary says, how long did it take for the police to arrest him? Not long at all. Not long at all. I remember the first things I said to the police was, and this is where my brain was, guys. I was messed up and I didn't know what or where or anything at this moment. I remember saying to them, I didn't wear my seatbelt and I ran red lights. And so they got the detective got my information right away where this happened. And I would say within 5 minutes, because I literally live maybe driving 5 minutes to the police station. And I would say within 5 minutes, they had my house surrounded. Now, I am going Tuesday to put a FOIA request in for those body cam footage of his arrest. I want those cameras. I want the footage. And I was told I can get them. So, this is why I'm so irritated that they've taken my voice away. Not one step. There was one person, the Crown Attorney, David Asvester. He's now a judge. He argued every single time they wanted to edit my words. He argued for me. And even after all the edits, when I stood up in court to read my victim impact statement, his attorney tried to edit me again. After all those edits, he tried again to edit me. And It wasn't allowed. Let me see if I can find it. I have it here. Thought I had it here. He tried to edit me again. And that's allowed. There we go. I'll read it to you guys. And I'll tell you exactly where they tried to edit me for the 4th time. So I put one word that I would use to describe how this crime has left me feeling. Oh, do I have this backwards? I don't know why I've got so many. Okay, so it is rather difficult, both intellectually and emotionally, to put into words, is powerless. He made me feel like a piece of meat, like a helpless little lamb caught on a barded wire. It makes me extremely angry that someone made me feel that way. As a woman, I have thought of how I would react in a situation like this. I told myself that I would physically fight for my life. In my mind, it played out as I gave the hardest punch or kick, thus disabling the attacker. Now, as I stand here before this court, I have to say that it is not realistic in every scenario. I never thought I would be attacked in my own home, in my own bed, by the person I shared my life with. To be so cruelly treated, having my breathing restricted with blue tuck tape, my hands tied to the wall above my head, and to bear the overwhelming pressure of its excessive size and weight on my hips, legs, trapped, then raped. I had to lay there and watch as you laid out all the weapons that you were going to use on me, as you sat each one down, laid out like doctor's tools. I know that you had planned this. This was my fate for being done with your lies, drugs, cheating, and manipulation. This was my fate for choosing myself and what I thought would be my happiness and freedom. You gave me 3 choices. None were favorable. One was death, in which you made clear to me that you're not afraid to, I'll change the words for you two, to unalive. You have done it before, and the person was a good friend and is now root food up north. As I stand here today, I will say there was times during the attack I wished I was unalived. I wished he would just end the suffering he's putting me through. Surviving this attack, I knew that I would be surviving a personal hell every day. I hoped you would have a moment wherein you would feel me staring into your eyes, trying to reach who I thought was buried deep inside. I was wrong. You are a monster. And right there, that word, that one word, monster, was the 4th time they wanted to edit me. Because that's against his rights. I'm slandering him. You had 0 regard for me, a life partner, as a woman, as a mother. As much as I would have thought that I would have physically fought off my attacker, I did something far more effective. I'm holding him accountable. I collected every piece of evidence I could. I made mental pictures of where everything was in hopes that I could get away. I kept telling myself I would not endure this in vain, and I will see my son again. I knew if I could just get you to untie me from the wall, there was going to be a small chance I could play the game you have played on me for years. So when you said to me, "You've been a good girl, I'm going to let you have a cigarette," and untied my hands and said, "Do not try anything stupid," and kept the knife close, never out of my sight, I knew I needed to make you feel important, feel special, feel safe. I prayed to God in my head that he would make that cigarette burn forever, so I had time to do what I needed to get away. I realized that as difficult as this was going to be, if I survived, it was worth it. I have a son that I was going to see again. If I didn't, he would know how hard I fought. His mother is not a quitter and doesn't give up, hence why you are in government uniform and in custody of Corrections Canada. I knew when you started to feel like you were safe because you turned your back to me and did some kind of drug, whatever drug you did, knocked you out, and I ran to that front door, found that it was screwed shut. I went to the side door again, screwed shut. This meant I needed to get by the bedroom without you noticing me, and to my dismay, again screwed shut. So I used all the strength I could muster and used my fingers to try to get the screw out. Thank God it worked. I was free. I was going to survive. As much as my body and mind needed to take a minute, I knew I didn't have it, and I got the hell out of there. Although I did not obtain... they might not want that to be read. Being left with 50 cents in our joint bank account with 9 days to pay my rent was another blow he left on my plate. I can't name him, and myself owned a painting business, and I had customers contact me about money he received and work never done that I was unaware of. So I had to tell complete strangers what happened and work out ways to make it right. 3 days after the assault, I had to work. This was the hardest thing to do. I contacted many people to see if I could still work the business even though he was on the license. I was advised that if I worked under the perfect picture, I would have to set aside 50% of earnings. I fear for my life, he said many a times. If you're lucky to get away and I go to jail, when I get out, I'll cut your throat. You can run, change your name, I will find you. He also said if I can't find you, I will find my son. I just don't want to name my son. So not only am I afraid for my life, I'm afraid for my son's. Sorry, guys, I have to stop because that's really affecting me. I can feel it in I'm just starting to shake. Oh, I meant how long for your perpetrator to go to trial? How long did the trial take? How many jurors were? There was no jury trial. It was a judge. And sorry, guys, I just can't finish. Because it was no jury trial. It was a judge, and it was, by the time we got there, he was trying to get a plea. The judge recommended to the Crown Attorney to get me to plea. And I kept saying no. So it was about a week of the back and forth. And then finally I was getting tired of it. I couldn't keep seeing him. So I said to the Crown Attorney, I won't take anything less than 5 years. So a bench trial, that was where we were heading. The Crown Attorney said he'd be willing to take it to trial. And then when I said that I won't take anything less than 5 years, because they were trying to get him out to walk free, because a year in jail consists of 2 years in jail in Ontario. And they were trying to get him on 2 years. And by this time, I was just destroyed by this. So the judge sentenced him to the 5. And Crown said that he wouldn't have got, even with a jury trial, he wouldn't have got more than 5. So that was, I was allowed to read my statement, do all that, and then the judge gave him 5. But I did have the right to a jury trial, but when the Crown attorney told me that he could get 3 to 5 years, I wasn't taking the chance on getting him less than 5. Because that's what they would get in Ontario. But if he was in the States, I watched the sentencing of Tiffany Lucas. Victim impact statements were angry. I haven't seen those. And that makes me so happy, though. Like, let me rephrase this. It doesn't make me happy that they have to give a victim impact statement. It makes me happy that they get to use their own words. They get to show emotion. I was told I can't even shed a tear. That's what I was told. So when I was saying this many times, I apologized to the court because I started to cry. I was told I wasn't allowed to show emotion. 5 years. Now, if it's an essay on a child, it's different. Thank God. But then again, it's still got to go to a jury trial, and that child's got to sit on the stand and be attacked by the defense. Can you hire a private investigator for a week or so just to see where he goes when he gets out? So they legally have to tell me where he is. And if they don't, they're going to have a lawsuit. If they don't, they're going to have a lawsuit. Did you testify, Rochelle? My statement was that my report to the police was surrendered to the judge. All of it. So I didn't have to testify to the sense of where the defense could question me or anything like that. But there was too much evidence. And when I spoke in there about keeping mental notes about where he was placing things, what he was doing, all of this, it was basically like I was keeping an inventory of every moment, of every second. I don't know how my brain did it. It just did it. And do I see my little guy here? I hear you. Come here. And so when they came into my house, the detective was asking me questions, and I was telling her where everything was. And I could hear the police on her radio say, "Yep, it's here. Yep, it's here. We got this. We got this." So it was, he had, and his call was what really put the nail in his coffin. Because I remember in one of the hearings for him to get surety, which is somebody to basically sponsor him and say, we'll keep an eye on him if he's out on bail. The judge played it for the girl that was supposed to be a surety. And she said no after hearing it. She's like, no. So the judge was like, you need to hear this. So the judge asked him if he wanted to make any statements or anything like that. And he said no. Not even in court did he have the balls to stand up and say, I'm sorry. Or nothing. Like, I know his sorry would have meant nothing. I know his sorry would have been empty, whatever. But it just shows that he wasn't sorry. He didn't care. He didn't care what he did. Even in that call, he didn't care. Never once did he say sorry. He gave an excuse to why he did it. No, he can't appeal. No. Nope, there's no appeal. And that's another reason I went the way I did, because there would have been an opportunity for him appeal. He has no opportunity now. That's one thing that I did get to take away from him. Sounds like a stone cold madman. Mm-hmm. Hey, Clue. Hey, friend, how are you? Hey, Crime and Coffee. Where you been hiding? How's the weather in Canada? I'm running the AC now. Oh, you are bragging. It is bloody cold. I had a hysterectomy, so I have been going through the surgery, going through recovery. But I'm glad to see, and I'm glad you're warm. Yep, told me, Claudia said, you cannot show any emotion. Right? As the victim, I wasn't allowed to show emotion. Many times through that, I stopped and said, I'm sorry, and tried to recompose myself. Not break crying. I love cold and despise heat. Oh no, hope you feel well. Take care of yourself. Well, you can have the cold, Clue, and I'll have your heat because I love the heat. No. Nope. I have one child. I have one son. But he has 5 children, which I did not know about. 5. Didn't know of any of them. All this came out afterwards. And which really disgusted me, because I am a child of a broken home where the father was estranged. And it made me angry when I found out that this man didn't care for his children. Cared only about himself. So, 5 years, Deb. Which is quite ironic, right? That he got 5 years. And it's what I said to David Isvester, is a year for every year he took away from my life. A year for every lies and cheating and all of this. So I was not going to settle for anything less than 5. Crime and Coffee, do you have a new boat? Nope. Rochelle, please stop dating these guys. You and you alone chose them. Stop it. Really nice guys are out there. You literally seek out the bad guys. It's not so well. There is no more dating for Rochelle. But it's not so. It's not that I seek out bad guys. Clue. I've come to realize I have an issue with trying to, for lack of a better term, save people, help people, only see the best in people. I don't look at their past. I don't do any of this. So it's not that, because I really don't have a thing for bad guys whatsoever. They kind of scared the crap out of me. But it's, if I feel somebody had a hard life or whatever, and they, he played the role. He played the sweet role, and he was so hard done by as a child, this and that something in me feels like I need to help. I need to save. I need to whatever. And that's just done. But I get what you're saying, but it's not so much that I seek out bad people. It's not. I'm a sucker for a sad story. And I got a life sentence. Yep. Because I'll live with this for the rest of my life. It's not going to change, like I've said before. Clue says, Crime and Coffee Crew, the girl picks out the guy. I've never pegged a girl. She chooses me. Always the girl can reject. This is your fault? Well, A, being sexually assaulted is not my fault. Absolutely not. And, but I didn't choose him. He chose me. He was the one that came to me. He was the one that was always saying, oh, you're such a good listener. You're this and that. That's how it ended up starting. I didn't go to him. He came to me. But it is absolutely not my fault that I got sexually assaulted. I was trying to leave. I was trying to get out. But I see where you say, because I care. I appreciate that, Clue. But me not leaving sooner with everything that was going on, okay, I'll own some of that. Me not seeing through the bullshit and the lies. He's good. He was a good manipulator. But Armand says it's amazing how predators can act and disguise themselves. And that's exactly what it was. He was good. You were a victim of an abuser. He preyed on your kindness, your vulnerability of being a single mother. You don't know he was going to turn into a monster. Not one person that spoke about him spoke bad about him. Not one. Nobody spoke bad about him until after everything happened. Clue says, I don't mean being assaulted. You chose to be with that guy. Stop saying yes. You said yes. Clue, I know you're probably not meaning this the way it's coming out. Yes, I was with him. And do you not think that I will live with that for the rest of my life? Do you not think that that's why I will never be in a relationship again, because I don't trust myself? That's why I don't trust myself. Clue says, every single girl I've ever dated I've liked. I liked her soul. I liked them. None were creepy. They were all good. Any strange ones I rejected. And I'm happy for you. I truly am happy for you that you've had that. I've had good relationships. We just drifted apart. But no one chooses to be SA. Please do your research. Doesn't matter a person has clothes on or not. Furthermore, if he is antisocial type, is scary because they learn to manipulate. And that's ambition. Thank you. That is absolutely true. I didn't ask to be assaulted. I don't agree, Clueless. These narcissistic people are not seen for what they are. Many are fooled by them. Think about Wendy Adelson. And you know what? My aunt and uncle lived next door to me. Next door. They thought he was the sweetest, most kind, most giving of a person they ever met. My aunt literally said, I'm so glad you found someone like this. You deserve someone good. He is that good. Who can know what a person is inside and out is God alone. You are very unreasonable. Clue says, Crime and Coffee. I know this is hard and I take back nothing. Please understand me. Choose a nice guy, good guy. I can't explain how. That's on you. No, and you're right. I did think I chose a good guy. I did think this was a good guy because he played very well. Very well. But this is why I say, and I'm not disagreeing with some of the things you're saying, Clue. I'm disagreeing with the attack. But I don't trust myself anymore because of him. I don't trust my decision making in that sense because of him. And that's why I will never, ever be in another relationship again. Clue says, I can't explain it to you, but statistically, abusers choose a certain type. Abusers also choose a certain type time after time after time. Yes, people that are giving, people that are only see good in people, that don't doubt people. Is that naive? A bit. Was that me? Yes, it was. I was prey. I was prey. All of everything he said to me, the way he was fake. It wasn't the real person. No, and I'm not coming at you, Clue. I'm not coming at you. I don't doubt that you are a nice guy. Someday, I'd like to meet you. X says, I'm the same way. I'm single and will stay that way. Right, X? I don't trust myself anymore. That's another thing he stole from me. Crime, you know I don't know you, but I like what I see and truly with you only the best. Also ask your friends. They have sometimes better spidey senses than others. And I'm telling you, my friends have said that to me. Before you meet a person, we're going to meet them first. I agree with that statement completely. And I've never thought any bad of you either, Clue. So listen, guys, I'll be the first. I will 100% be the first to say that there's not a time that I don't think, what did I miss? What did I not see? Was I blinded? I have questioned this over and over and over and over again. So when in a sense, what Clue is saying, I get, because I've said those things to myself. But at the same time, and I know Clue did correct that he wasn't meaning the abuse. So we're good, Clue. We're good. Armand says, after a very bad marriage, I chose to stay single and love my solitude and peace of mind. Kids are growing, and now I travel the world whenever I feel like it. And that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be, Armand. Jakey and me taking on the world. And that's fine, Clue. I'm okay with you not sugarcoating. Like I said, on this channel is a community, and I have done this myself. I have sat and wrote everything down and went over everything and tried to analyze where or what in me, and I've said this, what in me is broken that somebody like that could get in. I've done that. Deb says, my abuser lost 5 kids in a fire. Next couple of abusive guys also had issues. My husband does not. I put me and my son first and refuse to accept damaged men anymore. I agree. And I'm happy you were able to put all that and find a good one. I'm so happy for you, Deb. I just don't see it in my future. People can become vulnerable because they can become broken from abusive relationship, let downs, people's guard. Sometimes there are evil people out there who prey on good people. And I've had to accept that. Right? I've had to say, okay, because I was beating myself up. And literally at one point did say, did this happen to me because it's my fault? Claudia says, no, not a victim. God forbid you get blindsided. Then you will know what you are talking about. Clue says, crime, anything new on the Wendy skit? I don't want to wait a year. Must see them in the pokey. Nothing, Clue. We do know that we've got Donna coming up December 10th. We also, well, I know, sorry, that Donna, I would assume got reprimanded for something because she didn't have her tablet for 10 days. So I don't know what that's all about. Deb had a few strung right next to each other. Why I've met crazy chicks. I instantly reject them. I run. And I'm glad that you have that ability, Clue. Not everybody does. Not everybody sees those red flags. And I know I don't. I know I don't, because you know what I see? Instead of a red flag, I see somebody that's been hurt, and I feel like they need to have somebody to love them, somebody to stand beside them, somebody to be their champion, their cheerleader. And that's my issue, because I will champion somebody even if it doesn't benefit me in any way. Yeah. December 10th, a day who will live in infamy. So I don't even know, because I've tried to get that information, but very tight on the lawyers, which is understandable. But I'm hoping December 10th we get a court trial date. I'm hoping. I truly am hoping that we get that. So, oh, guys. So I am going to try to figure out how to link like I'm going to set up a Crime and Coffee Crew Facebook page. And I'm going to try to figure out how to link that to StreamYard and to YouTube. So when I do go live on Monday on location, live on location with Crime and Coffee, I will be able to do that. So if anybody can like and share and do all that, would be greatly appreciated. Deb says, my first physical. Sorry, Deb. First was physical, next was verbal, mental. One wasn't abusive but had mental issues and did not feel safe. So glad you got out of that. A funeral director attorney indicates no lawyer wants her case. Me thanks. I am so hurt. I'm just praying to God Everett doesn't strike her. I really am. You mean that's wonderful? Maybe she ends up with a public defender. Imagine the money, though. Because I know no money was returned from Morris. No money was returned from Commissar. No money was returned from Rashbaum. And now she's got 2 new lawyers. There's a lot of money. But I don't see I forgot his name already. I call him a Cabbage Patch. I don't see him being dismissed. I'm just really worried about her. Now, I did hear somebody say that it could be as early as April, a trial. And that would be really good. But so that is I didn't because again she's got a lot of American. So I figured she probably wouldn't. I'm right good. Cabbage Patches and Care Bears. If Chick hits me, I hit back 100% of the time, so that probably won't happen. I don't think she walks. I don't think so, X, either, but she does. She thinks she's walking. She's very positive that she's walking. So unless there's a deal, I don't know where the positivity is coming from. And that's the thing, Clue. In the beginning, never hit me, never spoke bad to me, never anything. Nothing like that. Yeah. Crime, do you remember the Garbage Pail Kids? They were so funny. Dark humor, but so funny. I loved the Garbage Pail Kids. X says she'll have to give up Wendy if she wants out. It's her only way. I would say she would have to speak against Charlie, too. Because he's got an appeal, right? Please don't. Melinda, hello. I've been in the hospital for 5 days and getting well. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Are you still in the hospital or are you at home now? And hopefully it was just nothing really serious. Does anyone know if Wendy's here in Austin or not? I've heard both. She is in Austin. She is in Austin. You need to go on a Wendy hunt, Clue. You're right, Axe. Giving up Wendy would ultimately unravel the whole thing. Yes. Yep. Just the other day. That's how I know her tablet was taken away for 10 days. Well, she says it was broken. It just seems like a punishment to me. And how she misses, how she's very sad right now because Valentine's, because of Thanksgiving coming, and how she misses being around her family and cooking and baking and all of that stuff. Clue says, I bet she lives downtown in one of them fancy high-rise buildings. She's got to come out sooner or later. If I lived there, I would visualize, okay, she might live here, she might live here. I'd make a list, and I would spend a whole day at every one of those buildings waiting for a wind sighting. I would. And I'd cross them off. No Wendy sighting. Only once, and it was when I asked if she was going to get refunded, and she said no, that her lawyer and lawyers did their job properly, and they deserved to be paid for it. So there was no money return. She's mentioned Charlie on his birthday. She's mentioned her grandchildren. Does not mention Wendy at all. Here's the strange thing. Once it got out that I was divorced, married women keep contacting me to go out. It is ridiculous. I know they have an agenda. There is danger lurking. Married women. That's disgusting. I don't know, guys. If you take those vows, they should mean something. Like, I am a firm believer that this cheating stuff is ridiculous. If your eyes are wandering and you're looking somewhere else, end the relationship first, please. Rosemary says, I saw Rashbaum on a watch channel. He buys expensive watches in Miami. Really? You saw him in the chat, or was he on the show? Do you think she will flip now on Wendy? I'm going to say no. But reading her words and how positive she is to get out and things like this, here's what I say. It all depends, because she's really, like, as sick as it is, how attached she is to her grandchildren. I would say she would try to figure out if Wendy was out of the picture, would she still have a relationship with her grandchildren? Or by turning on Wendy, would that then take away her relationship for her grandchildren? On the show, and watch owner said his name on the channel. Oh, Rosemary, can you find that? Can you send me that link? Was he selling them to pay his legal fees, attorney misconduct? Wish me luck. I wish you all the luck in the world, Melinda. Yeah, Rosemary, if I could get the link of that would be hilarious. Charlie once for his birthday. Wendy never. Never. I think once she is convicted and sees no hope, then she will flip on Wendy. I think at that time, Marie, I think that her chances are over, because really right now, the only person that has seen his future, what the rest of his life is going to look like, is Charlie. He's the only one that's been to prison. So I think the race is on to who flips, Charlie or Mama. If Charlie flips, he's still going to have prison time. He might at some point be able to walk out of those prison doors by flipping, but he's still going to have prison time. Donna, on the other hand, could flip, and who knows? Will she see prison, or will they give her a sweetheart deal like they were going to give Katie? Oh, thank you, Rosemary. That'd be great. You think she has hope? It does make sense, but from my perspective, she's super cooked. Oh, I think so too, Clue. I think she's super cooked too, but I'm telling you from the correspondence, she has hope. She has positivity. She read the last one was really down than normal because of Thanksgiving. Charlie will probably get more favorable conditions in prison. Yeah. But they might say, say 30 years, right? So then he's out when he might make it out. He might not. But he's the only one that's seen what the rest of his life is going to look like. So he's the one that I would say has more motivation to flip. And maybe that's this whole new trial thing. Because if he goes and has a new trial, then the conviction he just got and the time he just got is gone. He gets the option for a new trial. He's got the option to a plea deal. X says, I don't think she gets a get out of jail free card. Remember, these people lived their best life for 10 years. She will have to serve time for this. Oh, I agree, X. I agree she should serve time for it. But you also have to remember, they're going to weigh how far down that train car she is with no contact to Sigfredo, Luis, or Katie. Right? So they're going to, she's further down on the train car. And we could also say the same thing about Wendy or Harvey. But I believe Wendy actually had conversations with Sigfredo. That look in court was enough for me. I think if Wendy gets arrested, she will turn on her family. She will say it wasn't her idea. It was Donna's, and Charlie carried it out. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that one bit. Wouldn't doubt it. I think that's... I'm not sure what's going on there, so I'm going to leave that one. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. If Wendy was arrested right now, this whole thing would be over with. She'd fold like a piece of, like a stack of cards, she'd fold. She would do whatever she could to save herself. Like, she's already thrown everybody under the bus. What's another chance at throwing them under the bus? Armand says, how do people do what Donna did and yet feel like nothing happened? What gene is missing in these people? She literally said that it makes her sick to her stomach knowing there's people out there that were willing to harm Dan. It's yeah, like, let me see. Do I have it here? Let me see if I can find the exact words. X says, that's my thoughts, Rochelle. Wendy is ultimately the weak link in all of this. Her being free makes me sick. That makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. And I know it's bad to say, but I hope she chokes on a chicken bone or a turkey bone. I'm just trying to find the exact wording she used because no, I don't think that's the one. Probably the one before that. Pretty bad when I've got miss anybody yet? No. So I'll read this one to you guys. She titled it, What Else Can They Do to Me? What else can they do to me? If taking away the attorney that I've used for years on the day of jury selection and knew my case backwards and forwards wasn't bad enough, 2 days ago the judge removed my 2 remaining attorneys. Now I'm left without any attorney to represent me. I have been here 11 months and have to find and hire new legal representation. Bear in mind, all 3 of my attorneys have been paid in full, and with a sweep of his hand, Judge Stephen Everett has made me start all over again. I've been told by many people, including many of the officers in this jail, that I will not get a fair trial in Tallahassee. I never dreamed that it would be the judge who could cause this total disruption of my case. I knew it would be difficult to find jurors that have not been trained or tainted by 10 years of a negative social media campaign against my family. But the judge, I'll be 75 years old in a few months. I guess he wants to cause enough delays and disruption so that I will die here. What he did is outrageous and unprecedented. So here I am with no legal counsel sitting in jail when the reality is my trial should have ended a week ago. I am innocent and should be home with my family. Sadly, I'm learning about our total unjust justice system. That's, yeah. Acts ironic as hell. This is her doing, and she's totally free. This wouldn't have happened without her. She's the number one evil. I can't imagine a family going ahead and doing this something without her being involved. Me too. Can't wait for her trial. I can't wait for her trial. X says, oh, poor baby. I'm heartbroken for you, Donna. Not. Yep. Negative campaign. Yep. A 10 years of a negative social media campaign against my family. Oh, Donna, don't forget that bit about your murdering Dan. Please figure that into your letter. Yeah. Yeah, Diddy's innocent too. Just ask him. He'll tell you all about it. Yep. Amazon sent the wrong boxes. I ended up with 1,000 things of baby oil. Let me see. Let me see this one. For some reason it's taking forever for their system. Okay, here's another one. Thank you for your letter. It's been extremely difficult for me to get through these last 2 weeks since the rest of my legal team was removed from my defense. To answer your question, no refunding my legal fees and costs will not happen. My attorneys did their job and deserve to be paid. What the judge did by dismissing them is not their fault. This is our unjust system at work. My husband and I are starting the process of all over again. We are interviewing prospective attorneys, and I'm dealing with accepting the waste of 11 months of my life. Believe me, my hands are tied sitting in jail. I'm told to stay positive and hang in there, when I know all too well that I'm caught up in a story of lies, and that because of my age, time is precious and not on my side. But I try to make it through every day by thinking about good things that have happened in my life. What else can I do? I do not have control over anything any longer. I'm just shuffled around like a thing, not a person. Unfortunately, many, but not all, of the officers treat us with disdain and disregard. We're verbally abused on a regular basis. I've been taken outside a total of 9 times in 11 months for 30 minutes each time. That is a total of 4.5 hours of fresh air in almost 1 year. I'm housed in an annex building with the windows painted brown so that we cannot see whether it's day or night. We sleep in bunk beds in one room for 66 women. It's always loud due to the crowded conditions. Theft of our food is common as stealing clothes, especially socks, from the washer and the dryer. You asked about phone calls. Every phone call is recorded, and honestly, I'm better off writing because I cry easily. I cannot believe that I may spend whatever remains of my life in this environment. Do want you to know I appreciate your interest in me. If justice is served, that is, if justice actually exists, then I hope to meet you in person one day. Oh. I can't wait to see Wendy testify in her trial. Oh my God. It's probably the only trial she doesn't testify in, Marie. Wonder if Wendy joined the 4B movement. She does not even think Rashi did anything wrong. This woman can't move beyond her nose. She doesn't. Armand said 11 months that Dan did not have you, which exactly, Armand. Much of what Donna is facing as it relates to counsel is really her own fault. She must have been told about the obvious conflict of interest, but she didn't care. That's on her. I honestly think she did not expect her son to throw a curveball or a grenade. And on his channel, then search for baby oil. It's so funny. I think his channel is called Khaled or something. It's so funny. Crime and Coffee. I'll check that out. It's called Jail, Donna. It's supposed to suck. That is why you don't commit crimes. You don't want to go there. And for really smart people, how did they know they lived? How did they not know that they lived in a state that life means life? She might see you at her trial. Oh, yeah, I told her I'll be at her trial. I told her that. I said, I'll be at your trial. Somebody, oh, someone should tell Donna that brown window is not paint. Oh, guys, I tell you, like, I'm still very shocked she's writing me. Honestly, I thought her lawyers would kibosh it. I really did. But she thinks that someday she's going to get out and we're going to go and have tea. Tea and banana bread. Hell no to the... That's a hard no. That is a hard no. That is just a hard no. I'm just trying to be very careful when I'm writing this, because if Harvey goes to the trial, he might think that we're going to go out and have tea. Can you imagine Crime and Coffee sitting there talking to Harvey? I can't even. I can't even with that. Oh, but we'll be there. She's writing you, Rochelle, because she doesn't really have anyone else, not really, and she thinks she can sweet talk the crew. But it's the crew, it's the crew, not sweet talking, but it's the crew that's using the words that could work in two different ways. Because I know she's a narcissist, I know she will only see it one way, because I've been trained from one of the best narcissists. I know how to listen to them now and hear what they're saying and actually hear what they're saying. So I know I can say something one way and she's only going to take it a certain way. So she's like, her last one I got, how did I get it? I think I got it Tuesday. And I wrote her back today. I just was not mind on it. And I was like, no, because I'll end up saying something. But it's quite interesting. And yeah, she probably doesn't have anybody, because I know she talks to Harvey and stuff like that, but it's very minimal, because no matter where she talks to Harvey, it's recorded, right? So same with me, it's recorded. They see it. Like when I send something, it's got to go through a review. And then when she sends something else, it goes through a review. No, just that it was horrible and that it sickens her that there's such evil out there. Donna, I know you're listening. The best thing you can do is tell what actually happened. If don't want to die behind bars, you have to do what's right for the first time in your life. Yep. Why didn't Harvey go with Wendy? I don't know. He's still at the Icon. I know he did a big trip to see Charlie for his birthday. If Harvey checks out channels like yours, then jig's up. Then the jig's up. But I've spoke about her a few times and she's still writing. So I think Harvey watches the big channels, but we're tiny. So like we only got 18 people in here. I think he watches the big channels, and I'm not so much that he watches what's being said. He watches the chats. But And really, my thumbnail for this one wouldn't even draw his attention. So as long as I have these conversations about things she's writing behind something that's not going to draw his attention, then it's safe to have these say the things I'm saying right now. But if I was to have an Adelson thumbnail up or whatever, then that might draw his attention. So I figured this is probably the safest way to have these little chats. Unbelievable. Donna really believes she will get away with it. Is she delusional, or she knows what she did and thinks she can manipulate you into believing her? Oh, 100% she thinks she can manipulate me to believe her. Oh, that's a given. And I don't. But she truly thinks that I support her. Because when I had said, I will be at your trial, when she wrote me back, her words were, it'll be nice to have somebody there supporting. So she truly believes that. And I'm okay. But I'm just hoping that when she writes something, she's going to slip and write something that's important. That's what I hope, that she's going to get a weak moment. But she thinks she's getting out because it's a fabricated story. And she believes Charlie's innocent. She believes she's innocent. She believes her family's innocent. Which is it's mind-blowing to me, because why would two random people, and I know this was said in the trial, drive all the way to Tallahassee to hurt someone they didn't even know? Didn't know the name, didn't know nothing about this person. Their paths never crossed anywhere. And she's very delusional. I'd love to be a fly on the wall and hear what other inmates are telling her. Like, are they blowing smoke up her ass? And like, oh yeah, we know you're not guilty, this, that. Canadian Ambition. Canadian Ambition, I forgot to ask, where in Canada are you from? I can't remember. Rochelle, you're very incredibly strong. Take care. Gotta go. I gratefully appreciate you being here. Remember to watch Monday, because she didn't pull the trigger me, so she thinks she didn't commit the crime. Yep. Close to Toronto. Oh, that's right. You're not far from me. Well, I'll be in Kingston on Monday. Canadian Ambition. How does one suppress the truth so deeply and invent a distortion of reality? That's the scary part, isn't it? That is so scary to think that you know what you did, but that tells me you have no soul. There's no way. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine to how you live with that daily. I just can't imagine. Like if you were one of those inmates with her, one of the prisoners or whatever, in there, would you be blowing up her story, or would you be playing into it for entertainment? What would you be doing? Armand says Katie suppressed as well. She can't live with the fact she was so involved in the deletion. Yeah. And she had the golden ticket. Like that one will, I will never understand that. Deb says, I think narcs have twist sense of reality anyway. Yeah, they do. But how in God's green earth do you know what you done and then have somebody say, here's a key for your freedom, and you don't take it? How? I'm getting caught up was just on phone. Did you say Donna is writing Donna murderer Donna? Yes. Yes, Clue. Like how do you know? I'm going to start stuttering because you know what you did, and you were handed a get out of jail free card. Yes way. Like, do you suppress it? How far was it suppressed for you to still believe you were not guilty? And I know what she said is because Sigfredo was looking at the death penalty. Okay. So you didn't take it the first time. The second time, he didn't get the death penalty. He was in prison. Why didn't you take it the second time? She's one crazy woman. You know, and there was one thing where her brother was talking where she hadn't spoke to her kids in years. I don't think she cared to be a parent. I know people said, oh, she was a good mom. She did this and that. I really think deep down inside, she didn't give a shit if she was a parent or not. Because you would have taken that deal. You would have taken it. I just don't get it. Sorry, guys, I'm still here. How does a woman turn down freedom and to be a mother to her children, even though she committed unaliving someone? Yeah. Donna, listen, girlfriend, make a plea agreement to get out of prison. You will go to prison. Wendy is even more evil than you. She threw you under the bus. Throw her under the bus. Oh, you honestly, Clue, do not know how many times I want to say that to her. I do. For a fun stream, you could go over the Matthew Raystill case, how those stupid people acted like the Adelsons and got everything wrong. Armand, when is that? Is that trial already been held? No. I was wanted to follow that one. Has anybody heard any updates on the sheriff and the judge case yet? Oh, yeah. Definitely. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do the Matthew Raystill case tomorrow. That is so silly. Googling Donna Adelson and Katie McBanawa. The sheriff was indicted. Yeah, but his trial hasn't started yet. I seen the sheriff. I remember that day we watched it. I hope that his trial is televised. And I need to catch up on the Karen Reed. What's going on there? Because I noticed when I was in the hospital and that she was in court again. I was like, holy Christ. And I know that's such a touchy case because it's split. So many people are But my God, could you imagine if this is that corrupt of a town? Let me just Google Matthew Rastelli. Actually, you know what? I said I was going to highlight Canada Cop Watch too. I didn't do any. Of his. He's Lou says, Rochelle, be good to yourself. I'm out of here, must work. Don't lift any excessive beehives for a bit. No lifting heavy things. I did the other day. I had to take a 5-gallon pail into a unit that I was doing, and oh my God, I paid for it. I was like, oh, this is horrible. I got to tell you guys about that place. Holy Moses. KR got a third lawyer. This is a trial that's never going to end either. You be good to yourself too, Clue. They said take about a month to be fully back to normal, stuff like that. I've actually am doing really well. It's except for when I'm not feeling any pain or anything like that, I overdo it. That's my stupidity because I have a high pain tolerance. So I just have to chill out for a bit. I'm going to actually, before I do anything at this, I want to show you guys this. Put myself back on camera here. I want to show you guys this because let me see if I can find it on Google Maps. I want to explain what I just went through. It is absolutely absurd. Oh, I can find it on Google Maps. If it hurts, listen to your body. That's your body saying, hey, stupid, don't do that. I'm healing. Yo, back off. Yep, exactly. It is. It truly is. I'm going to show you guys this. Oops, let me zoom in. Oh, zoom back out a bit. Here, let me go here. So, this house right here is a bunch of apartments. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Down these stairs right here is a 1-bedroom apartment, which I just finished redoing. And this right here, I just finished redoing. This is a 2-bedroom apartment. This is the most haunted place I've ever been in. I don't know if you can tell. I have scratches. I don't know if you can see it. All up my arm. On my hand. I don't have any nails. I got none. I don't got claws. I was in this unit here. This is the kitchen window. These are the living room windows. I was in the bedroom behind the living room. You know when you feel like somebody's watching you? You know, somebody's behind you, whatever. I turn around, and right in front of this window here stood a man looking out. So I only seen him from the back, dressed in a military uniform. I got the F out of there. I was out. I was like gone. The last day I was in there, I ended up with all these scratches on my arm. Goes all the way around. All the way around. Scratches on my legs, on my back. Armand, it never fails. Laugh out. Love the coffee crew. We went from parole to the paranormal. They both start with P. Looks like it used to be a church. Is there a cemetery around it? So this is what I found out. This used to be, it was built and owned by a doctor. He lived this whole upper part. All this down here was his office. Some people said it was like a hospital. This down here, was a morgue. I was like, of course it was. Then, when he retired and sold, it became a funeral home. Funeral director lived up here. And this was the funeral home, which was, hey, it suited it because there was a morgue. And then after he sold it, there's nothing about what it became after him. But then whatever it was after that, it became apartments. Like it's very, very. So in the town where this is, they call it the haunted castle. Of course they do. Yep. And what I found out after I was done painting this unit here, that this window where I said I saw the man standing, a military man lived here, and he actually hung himself in front of this window. That is what I could find out for information. I was like, no. So the property management or the property owner of this said that they probably have 2 more units coming up. And I said, nah, find someone else. I ain't going back in there. Not going back in there. No, sir. Never, ever, ever do I want to go back into that building. Yeah. And I can tell you it's from a ways back. I would say in the 70s due to the uniform. It's not a uniform that is seen now. And there was some spooky stuff going on in there. I had to barricade. I had to put paint cans heavy paint cans to hold the doors because they would randomly just slam. I had to tie the cupboard doors because they would randomly just slam. I've never, ever in my life seen anything like it before. And I was in there trying to get these done. Like this little apartment, it is so tiny. I don't even know how anybody could live down there. Because they've cut it off and made different apartments of what the morgue used to be. So it basically, I call it a studio, you know, and it should have maybe only taken me at the most a day to do. It took me 5 days to get that done because I could only be in there for a couple hours and I had to get out. I had to get out. I'm like, does that happen to people that live there? Yes. So when I was done this one and I was like, oh my God, I can't even. I spoke to the tenants that live in this unit here. And the wife wouldn't speak about anything. But the gentleman was out having a smoke one day and I was out and he said, are you okay? And I said, yeah. I said, but I can't deal with this no more. Like, am I going crazy? He goes, no, you're not going crazy. He goes, there's a lot of things that happen here. Did you feel negative energy, just random energy? So a mixture of both, Deb. A mixture of both. Down here, more negative. Up here, I was just always feeling like I was having a hard time breathing. Like I was always like gasping or feeling like I needed to fight for air, things like that. But this one is where all these scratches came from. Like it's all around. Like I know it's hard to see, but they're everywhere. The scratches on my arm, scratches on my leg. There's a big, like, it's like 3, but it's like 2. There's no way your fingers could do it. And it's just right down the whole edge of my back. If you do a podcast on paranormal experience, you will get 10K views for sure. Laugh out loud. Well, I was, and I wasn't. I have a friend that wanted to go in here at night. And she's trying to talk me into doing it. And I'm like, I don't want to go back there. She's like, no, but you can bring your camera and we can do it. And I'm like, oh God, please don't make me go back there. I don't ever want to go back into this building again. I honestly think this building should be knocked down. That's how bad it was. Like, I know, like, you got these paranormal people on YouTube and stuff like that. And I always thought, you know, okay, yeah, doors are just slamming, whatever. I will never doubt people again because, like I said, I literally took zip ties to tie the 2 doors together so they couldn't come and go bang, because that is freaking startling. And then I would tie them to the other ones. Like I had them all zip tied. I know the property owner came into this one and is like, what's with all the zip ties? I'm like, stay for a bit, you'll find out. And this was in the daytime. This wasn't at night. This was dead daytime. I don't mind the spiritual for whatever reason here, but not evil, but negative energy like hate and anger, poltergeist, I could not deal with. Yeah, honestly, down here was the worst. Absolute worst for that. But up here, there was more, like I said, I saw the gentleman standing in the window back to me. So he was looking out. And this is the one I got hurt in. Like, I was calling my son. I was going outside. I was calling my son. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was like, he's like, Mom, seriously. I said, I can't do it. The doors are slamming. Everything's just haywire. And because it gets dark early here, like 4 o'clock, I was like, I was working so hard, which probably hurt me more, but I had to get out of there. It was bad. No, you can't make it up. I even sat there and thought, so, okay, and even these windows, because another person had told me that, and I think it was, so this apartment is actually 2 stories, this one here. And this one is the rest of the whole up here. But they've changed this into 2 stories. Somebody either unalived themselves out of here or they were pushed out of here. I don't know the truth of that story, but it's either or. Like, there's too much death around this building. But again, that gentleman, when I was out there having the cigarette, because that is when I saw the man in the window, and I said, I just can't do it no more. I just can't. And I said, there's stuff happening, and am I going crazy? And he said, no, a lot of stuff happens here. Then he asked me, and I said, there was just, and I pointed to the window. We were standing here by the stairs, and I said, I pointed to this window, and I said, there was a man just standing in that window, and an army person dressed in his army greens. And he goes, and that's when I found out that the man had hung himself in that unit. So he knew exactly what I was talking about when I said, I was like, this is sad. This is insanity. Claudia, you're right. If one door slammed, I'd be out. I don't believe in ghosts, but demons manifest. Yes, I was frightened to death in there. I was frightened to death. I literally, one sec. I'm going to show you. One sec. You're going to laugh at me. Hold on. Look at this. So they told me that this will help. Look, I burnt. It's like, it's sage. And I took it with me every day to work because I was petrified and I needed something. It was like this long. I burnt that much of it because I was petrified. Your occupational hazard, right? Because you don't know. Like when they told me, I went and I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I was inside saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. But I charged them a good price and they accepted it, so I kind of had to. But I was like, oh God, please don't accept it. Please don't accept it. Literally, in my paint tools, I now carry a bundle of sage. It's sad. It was frightening, guys. And every time I went back, I thought, you know what? I'm going to put my camera on. I'm just going to let the camera go. And every time I would forget, and I would just try to go just to get it done. Native Americans believe burning sage protects against angry evil spirits. Well, I was burning it. I was like, I got to do something. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Never. And I never want to again. It is truly frightening. But I did do a good thing. I did do a good thing there. There was people that lived back here in the apartment building. I was sitting, so where this car is here was where my car was. And I heard a dog whimpering. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I heard a man screaming and a female screaming. And they came around this corner here, right here. And the dog only had a collar on. And the female had the dog picked up by the collar like this, all four legs hanging in the air. And the dog's whimper was so bad because the collar was pushing on its larynx and its windpipe. Well, that didn't go over so well. Because I said, put the dog down now. And the guy's like, whatever. I said, put the dog down now. And I grabbed my phone and I said, I'm going to be calling the police. And the guy's like, oh, no. And I says, well, you have two choices right now. I call the police on you for abusing this dog, or you surrender the dog to me right now. And they literally said, fine, take it. So I put the sweet girl in my car and I brought her home. And I found a good home for her. She's doing really well. And I was like, are you crazy? These people. No wonder there's so much negative energy and stuff like that in here, because there's such negative people living there. But so one good thing came out of this is I saved a dog's life. Oh, she was such a sweet girl. But that's what I've been doing this week, fighting stuff, fighting whatever's in this building. Like, does it not look like that? Oh, you should have heard me, Claudia. I was angry. I said, put that dog down now. Like, it literally, and you can tell, because when I got her home, I was looking at her, and you can tell that it's something they do often, because she had such a red mark right here across. Like, I have no doubt if that dog would have been left there, she would not be alive. They were that abusive to her. I was just like, I didn't even care about my paint stuff or anything that was left out. I just brought her home. But I did call the police still. I let them know that what was happening and what the outcome was, so that way they couldn't call and say, hey, this person stole my dog. But I did report them, because I'm not sure if there are any other animals. But I don't know if I have a picture. I got many pictures of her. Let me see if I send one to myself here. Oh yeah, there she is. Let me send this. I'll show you a picture of her. She's such a cute, sweet girl. It's so sad that people do that type of stuff. Yeah, I did. I got a picture of her here. There we go. Let me share this picture with you guys. All this in one mic. You need a lead, a rock, and a roll lifer. This was a week I did not ask for, honestly. It was like one thing after another. But I have a slow week coming up, except for Monday. But let me share this pretty little girl here. Here she is. Yeah, she so her hair around her neck. I couldn't get a picture of it because she wouldn't look up, but it was all red and her hair missing from being raw. From the collar they had on her was so tight. She's only five months old. She's a sweet, sweet girl, that's for sure. All the way home, she kept her head on my shoulder. And when I was driving, she just kept her head there. She knew she was saved. I guarantee it, she knew. But yeah, sweet girl. But she's got a really good home now. They send me pictures almost every day of her. And she's finally going to have a good life. But I was like, the whimpering was weird to me. But then when I seen how they had her, I could understand it because this was all being cut. Unbelievable what people do out there. But guys, I'm going to call that a night. Thank you for listening to my rant about the parole board. Thank you for listening about my haunted stories. And thank you about listening about this sweet girl that her name was Lilo. They did not like it. So they've now called her Karma. So this is the sweet girl Karma. I will saved her. She is sweet. Oh my God, she is so sweet and loving, which I can understand because they say that dogs that are mistreated will actually try to be more pleasing. And I was actually very shocked how quick she would stay by. When we got to my house in the backyard, she ran around a bit and then right by my side. She would not leave my side. So I told her, I got you, girl. Nobody's going to hurt you ever again. But tomorrow night we will do a review on the Copycat Adelsons. Maybe that's what we should call it, the Copycat Adelsons. Oh, Maria, I'm so glad I was there. Now here's the thing. If I didn't see that man standing in that window, I wouldn't have been outside. Because I have a rule that I have a smoke before I start, a smoke at lunch, and a smoke when I leave work. I would not have been outside having that cigarette if I didn't see that man in the window. Yeah, I think I'll do a title called a Copycat Adelson Review. Adelson Family Review. Thank you, Rochelle, for sharing, and good luck on Monday. May your voice be heard. I hope so. I hope so, guys. If not, I'm going to be a popsicle. One or the other. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you all. Maybe, but he scared the shit out of me. Right, Armand? Cigarettes seem to be life-saving for you. Cigarette got me out of a situation. Well, and a cigarette was life-saving for Karma here. So everyone, I will see you tomorrow. We'll do that copycat. Deb said a cigarette saved me. Nice. We will talk tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll see you then.